Okay, this is a video response to Isaac Arthur's Technological Stagnation, episode 233. Um, let's go through the different points here. He's talking about, what's going to drive us and keep us excited and innovating and exploring and doing new science. I'm going to go through what I see some of the problems right now. Financial stagnation. He's talking about, why would we want to forget the things that we knew were good to protect us and keep us safe? Well, the Smoot-Hawley Act, the bankers back in the 2000, they were really excited to get this thing torn down. This was to, protect us and protect the banks from getting too powerful and destroying society to help just a few greedy people. And Hank Paulson and others, they were really excited to tear this stuff down, tear down these regulations that were developed in the 20s and 30s in the U.S. to help keep us from, being destroyed by these banks and these credit systems that just only enriched a few at the cost of the many. And I see that happening now with what Trump is offering to bail out these banks and, bail out these rich companies, and all the small people, all the small businesses are being destroyed, going bankrupt, losing their employees, really just a huge wealth transfer from the many to the few, and the bailouts from the many to the few. So that's one way we're breaking with what Isaac Arthur said, that, we forgot why these things were built. These fences and these protections was built in the 1920s and 30s and 40s, and, they got tore down about 100 years later, because we forgot why we needed to keep them in there. And one of the comments said that at his video that you should not have tear down a fence that's been built until you know why the fence was built to begin with. It's a good comment. So that's how financially we've screwed ourselves. Let's go with science itself. You've been listening to this guy, Stefan Molyneux, and a lot of others. It's Dr. Shiva and Alex Jones, and they're talking about how science itself has been politicized. Scientists are paid to lie. I saw this movie, Dark Waters, with the guy that plays the Hulk, Ruffalo, and they use this tank armor stuff to put in our pots and pans and put in our carpets and get in our water, and it gets in our bodies, and it's killing all us for greed. And these scientists, they lie for these companies, or they don't get research grants, and they don't get money. And this Dr. Fauci, he's gotten $100 million from Bill Gates to go around and do this research with viruses that's killing a lot of us. So, that's another way Isaac Arthur maybe ain't talking about in his video, how the scientists are bought and paid for and corrupt and greedy and lie, and the truth itself has become the enemy, and they destroy it and want to keep us all dark and ignorant. So that's another way I see society failing. And then there's a third way. This guy Peter Nolan I've talked about before, and Nikola Tesla. They talked about how all these men are going to be so disenfranchised from a matriarchal society that they're going to give up on society. They're going to turn against it, or they're going to try and destroy it because they feel left behind. And I see that happening. And, we look at the rise and fall of civilizations over, many, many thousands of years, going back maybe 10 or 15 or even 20,000 years when we're still primitive people. Maybe certain laws got put into place in society where the matriarchy couldn't become so powerful, and so many men wouldn't fight for, one woman and destroy each other and, destroy everything around them because they feel disenfranchised. And, I see that now, though, when your kids get ripped from you and you get destroyed because of your gender, male gender in this case, maybe you can see why Muslim societies built these Sharia law systems that, didn't allow that power to congregate and grow and disenfranchise billions of men, like Tesla claimed that, what's going to happen? The world will be destroyed. So these are ways I see a collapse and technological stagnation today, science-wise, financial-wise, and then just the culture and society and gender laws and matriarchy power that's taken over. So these are things that are keeping billions of men and billions of other people from just contributing in positive ways, feeling self-empowered, want to do good things out here and research and progress science and progress our society. And if we don't turn things around, it's on all our shoulders that why things aren't getting better. So it's up to us. I have hope that we can make a difference, but a lot of things are going to have to change. And what Isaac Arthur said in the video, we have forgotten why all these old systems were put in place, why these fences were built, and they were tore down by greedy people or apathetic losers. But whatever the reason, they're not there anymore, and they're going to have to be rebuilt.